kind of ring you give. Just don't take me for granted, and let me know every day that a love unconditionally is coming my way. 'Cause even if the world is falling apart all around us, let my love be a shelter, baby. Coming out of the rain, come out, no. 'Cause I know one thing about us, that our love is forever, baby. Rich or poor, you know I love you the same. I gotta tell you, you should already know. Just in case you needed to hear it, well, here it goes.
Things you've done from the day that you came into my life, the day you had my first son. Sometimes I can't understand it, it remains mystery. How it started as you and me. Look at us, now we're a family. And even if the walls come tumbling down all around us, we got a solid foundation. Tell everybody what you are the soul. What a joy you've given me after all these years. I got the sweetest memories. I tell you, you should already know. Just in case you needed to hear it, well, here it goes. I love you more than you could ever imagine. You make magic happen. You make magic happen in my life.
In my life.
My life. Said you made the difference in my life.
In my life.
Oh, you made so
Peace and greetings, family. This is WHCR 90.3 FM. I am Pojanee PJ Fleury, and you're listening to PJ's Show. We're back for another edition, another Sunday here in one of the greatest cities in the world. You know, WHCR is the voice of Harlem. Yes, the Black Mecca, if you will, as we like to affectionately call it. And I am so excited, really been enjoying having this amazing platform to talk about topics that are important to me, important to the community, and it's just been a really great experience. Today, we're going to be speaking about Kwanzaa. This is the last month of the year, the last leg, the final chapter, the last quarter, and it's also been known to be the holiday season. And there are a lot of people, you know, a lot of different people here, especially in New York City. A lot of people celebrate different things. So it's always been kind of this general happy holidays so that everyone will feel included. And for a long time, especially African Americans that were maybe stepping away a little bit from traditional religion, and it was right on time, I think, when Kwanzaa was formed and put out as somewhat as an alternative to the other holidays, but definitely something that brings the Black community together, brings pride to the Black community. And Kwanzaa was created to really bring together the Black community, bring something traditional, something new that we could all participate in regardless of spiritual background, religion, and things like that. And it's definitely been something that has brought the Black community together brought pride into our community based on traditions from Africa, and it has evolved over the decades to be a staple in many people's lives. And, of course, in New York City, the biggest city, especially Harlem, the mecca of the Black community here in this country, based on its history, the Harlem Renaissance, what it did for the Black community, and also the world. It has also been the mecca for Kwanzaa. Just a lot of amazing things happen around Kwanzaa in New York City. And Kwanzaa is very dear to my heart, and it's one of those things that brings me back to my childhood, and I really do love celebrating Kwanzaa for what it represents, what it means. So I want to give a little history of Kwanzaa, and then I'll talk about my own personal connection to Kwanzaa from growing up. So the word Kwanzaa comes from the Swahili phrase, Mutunda yi Kwanzaa, or first fruits, referring to first fruits or harvest festivals that are found throughout Africa. Kwanzaa was created in 1966. So we got to take it back a ways, okay? So Kwanzaa was created in 1966 by Maulana Ron Karenga to, as it says on the official website, reaffirm and restore African heritage and culture, also to introduce and reinforce the Nguzo, and I really hope I'm not butchering these names and stuff, but it's more about the feeling and not just, specifically the names, but the Saba, the 7 principles. Okay, there are 7 principles that go along with Kwanzaa, and every year these 7 principles are reinforced through Kwanzaa and through the different traditions that are done on each particular day, and these 7 principles are very important for us as a community. Also, Kwanzaa's mission is to serve as a nationally celebrated communal holiday. They're using this in the sense that, of course, as I mentioned, it's not specifically attached to any religion. For example, Christmas, although it's been secularized, it's connected to Christianity. So it goes hand in hand. But Kwanzaa is different, as it is traditions that have come together in one, rather than it being based on one particular culture or traditional history through one particular, let's just say, tribe or nation or things like that. This is a collection of different principles coming together. So that's what really makes it a very special communal celebration, okay? And also, Kwanzaa is an act of cultural self-determination. So by knowing Kwanzaa, by celebrating it, by understanding the principles, understanding where they came from, it reinforces our cultural self-determination. This is not anything else. This is, not from any other community. This is from our communities, from our traditions, coming all the way back from Africa. And us as the African diaspora, it's really important for us to be connected to that. Not only just one time of the year, but definitely throughout the whole year. But Kwanzaa is that time, that special time where we can come together and reflect on that. So celebrated the last week in December, starting from December 26th and going actually and ending on January 1st. And so my specific connection, when I was younger, I had a neighbor who was a Pan-Africanist, and he celebrated Kwanzaa. I knew nothing about it. Of course, I grew up Catholic in a traditional Haitian family, and we never heard of Kwanzaa. And here comes my neighbor. He's like, oh, it's Kwanzaa. I got you something. It was always educational and uplifting, gifts and things like that. And when you're a child, you're like, okay. But as I grew older and I understood more, I had been given from my neighbor, From Superman to Man, the book from J.A. Rogers, and I read it as I was much older, and I realized what he was trying to do when I was younger, plant seeds. And he did. He also gave me the 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with complete proof by J.A. Rogers. He had newspaper clippings. He had research that he had done and papers that he had written, and he gave me all these things. I was supposed to put it in this folder, like a scrapbook kind of thing. And it really did plant the seeds. That was like one of the catalysts to who I am today, right? A conscious member of just overall society, but also obviously a conscious member of the Black community, right? Because we're all striving to raise our consciousness. And this is what things like Kwanzaa affords us. So there's been many things, especially in New York City, that have come about to celebrate Kwanzaa and honor Kwanzaa and really make it that thing in our community as it should be. So one of the things that has been produced through our community, for our community, is the Kwanzaa Film Festival. So we're bringing in films and all that films bring to the table in terms of storytelling, and we're bringing that to Kwanzaa. And I've been involved with the Kwanzaa Film Festival for a few years, and it's just always been amazing. And the founder of the Kwanzaa Film Festival is here with us today to talk about, just all things Kwanzaa and all things Kwanzaa Film Festival. Please welcome to the show, Ina Norris.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here. And I love what you were sharing with everyone, because Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday, and that allows for all of us to come together as one, whether we're Muslim, Christian, Jehovah's Witness, Buddhist. We can celebrate Kwanzaa based on the alignment of our culture, and also whether we're from Africa or African American or Haitian, Haiti or Jamaica, because basically Kwanzaa is a celebration of African practices, and it's in a container. And what I mean by container, it's celebrated from December 26th to January 1st, but the practices that Dr. Maulana Karega created was practices that he found in all of our cultures by visiting different countries in Africa and different African people throughout the diaspora. So it is a container that we can take the time to learn about our heritage together and celebrate it as well. So I do the Kwanzaa Film Festival for that reason, mainly for us to learn the principles, because the principles in Kwanzaa are is a very healthy way for our community to come together.
Yes, it is. And please tell us, what will be happening this year at the Kwanzaa Film Festival?
Well, we're really excited. We're going to start with our pre-Kwanzaa Film Festival at Bronx Community College, which we do every year. That's going to be December 7th, which we are going to be showing 7 films, and we're going to do some workshops on how to make a music video under $500, how to become a makeup artist, how to prepare for your headshot. And like I said, we're going to have 7 films that we're showing: Best Round, The Poison Garden, Homecoming, The Good Land, Hotland, Untouchables. And with The Poison Garden, we're going to do a workshop on civil rights and have a luncheon. So if you want to come out to Bronx Community College on December 7th, you're welcome. But then the actual festival starts December 26th. We're going to be at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, a very perfect place to have a Kwanzaa Film Festival. And the very first event is the opening. We have a Kwanzaa Film Festival Unity Award Ceremony and reception. We also have 2 opening films, The Wealthiest Man in the World by Josiah Johnson and Nikaruka by Nebula Lester. And we're honoring 7 leaders in our community that have shown to practice all 7 of the principles, and that's Dr. Cheryl Simmons. She's a water advocate for Black people all over the world, whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Detroit. She does advocacy, and she hones in with she organizes the Youth Global and Social Network. John Blassingame, he's a pioneer in the publishing company. Chuck Chillout, pioneer with hip hop. Chester Gregory, and a Broadway actor. Vondi Curtis Hall, an established director. Crystal Willie, she's also a producer, and she runs a Rites of Passage program for girls. And our 7th person we're kind of waiting on. I don't want to say that person's name yet. So that first day, we have the award ceremony, we see 2 films, and we have a reception. The very next day, our theme really is heavily on self-determination for women. So we show Black women producer and directors their films, and we have Friends Like D by Sandra Hamlin, Barely Made by Eric Dickens, Chanel Dua, Controlled by Catherine Marie, Let's Keep It Professional by Rhonda Hanson, The American Lambret by Carmen A. Smith, The Blues by Aisha Ray Son, Contentment by Sky R. Dottie, Unspoken Conversation by Iman Uda Hameen, The Making of the American Dream. And that is basically what we're doing at the Schomburg during the day from 12 to 5:30, and then after in the evening we go over to the Shrine, and we have an event celebrating 50 years of hip hop and cinema, and we are going to do a community rap along to some of the soundtracks of hip hop that have been in movies. So we'll all be there rapping together and listening to music, and we're also going to highlight soul hip hop from Emmett Thrower, Ragtime Fan Film, Wheels of Dream, Akil DuPont, and many other music videos at this time. Then the next day, it's a big thing, December 28th, is Collective Work and Responsibility, and we highlight Black male writers, and we coin it Us Too, because Black men do not need to be silent at all. Just as we need to speak up about our trials and tribulations, our disenfranchisement as Black women, Black men, and when Black women speak up, it doesn't mean Black men be quiet. It means for them to still talk about some of the things that they're going through. So we have Black male writers. We have Side Kids by Chop Mosley, Do You Trust Me by Ronald James, Maybe in Another Life by Inabasi Nelson, Fast by Marshall Davis, and many other films, Thousand Lights of Sun by Mike Brown. And then we're going to have a talk back. We're having a red carpet affair. We're going to be showing Lead Belly, which is a film about the first rock and roll person that everybody actually didn't give him his credit. That about 50 entertainers to this day have used his music, and at the time, during his era, he wasn't able to get all the things that he should have been able to get. And his family is coming to donate some of his archives to the Schomburg. And then from there, we're going to go and have some workshops at the Shrine. Because it's sort of like a pattern. We'll do something during the day at the Schomburg, and in the evening we'll have a follow-up with a reception, networking event, and some workshops at the Shrine. Then on our 4th day, Cooperative Economics, we have Interception by Sophia Songhai, which is about Jane Kennedy, the first Black women sportscaster, because this is going to be a day we focus on our documentaries, and on the theme is sports and entertainment, cooperative economics. The Music Got Me is Christian Johnson. She's doing something on house music. Dapper Dan, Don't Hate the Players, Change the Game by Kenny Allen. Homecoming Ready. This is about Hampton Institute, what homecoming, the value of homecoming to a college and what it brings. Dear Josephine by Josephine Baker by Amber Monet. Kingdom is a basketball organization that was built in Harlem that actually did a lot of prevention of violence and help people grow. And a lot of these, some of the people in the video became celebrities. And then Veronica White, A Life in the Key of Communication by Chuck Moses. Then after we have that at the Schomburg, we're going to still continue to do a workshop on how to sustain your art. We're going to have entertainment lawyers there, for entertainment lawyers, where you can ask questions. There's a lot more.
Oh, please continue. I mean, because Kwanzaa is more than one day.
I'm going to just say that each day from Tuesday to Saturday, we will be showing film. Our main stage is the Schomburg. You go to Schomburg, you'll find out about everything else, the after events, the after parties. And then on the day of this, we try to do something every day of Kwanzaa. 12/31st, we do a virtual program. If you're trying, we're going to have a master class in acting. We're going to also have people who could do live auditions, which is called Get Casted, where you'll be able to audition in front of producers. And then we're going to show some films. Then the next day, which is faith, we're dealing with faith-based films. So we're going to have a conversation about faith-based films, faith-based distribution, and we're going to have some people who actually have been able to be extremely successful. We have one man who's had 40 films out coming to speak. His name is Mike Legend, and he's had from BET to all the other district, Amazon Prime, all of them. He's had films on. He's able to guide people through, and he'll be announcing when he's going to do his premiere with the Kwanzaa Film Festival in Black History Month. And there's just so many things. But you can find us on the KwanzaaFilmFestival.com. It has to have that the KwanzaaFilmFestival.com. And you can also look at all our social media. We'll be posting posters on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So.
And TikTok? Okay.
Yeah, we have a little TikTok thing going on.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
No, that is so.
So, the whole thing about the Kwanzaa Film Festival is bringing the community together with the artists, with the political figures, bringing everyone together and be able to explore how can we uplift our community during one of the divine and spiritual times of the year, because it's the last film festival and the first, because we end on the first day of 2024 and we start during the last week of December. So no matter what religion you are, this is a time for you to reflect on the year, and you're coming into a new year, and this is a great time to meet new people and be with people and see new things and open up your mind to different ways of life. Like, I've learned so much by being ahead of this film festival, from Cameroon, people from South Africa submitting their films, but even people from Milwaukee submitting their films, things I didn't know that was happening right here in the United States to African people, and there's just so much to learn. And this is like a little Black History course. Then also we have things that will, get your imagination going, and we have the workshops that will help you. You can find out what you like and what you don't like, or maybe this is something you want to do in life. So, yeah, come on out. And my whole thing is, it is donation day. So you'll see suggested donations on all of our flyers, but we want everyone to come. And so just RSVP and let people know what you're doing and everything, that you're coming, because we will make room for you. And that's really, really important to us, for people to come out. That's very important.
Absolutely. And I definitely felt that energy the years that I've attended, and it's just been, I think it's a few different communities that come together within the Black community. I think this
Yeah.
is the one event that brings in the artist community, the film community. This
Yes.
is one of the events that brings in the artist community, that brings in the film community, which you don't really see in other events, especially Kwanzaa events. Usually it's the drummers, the poets, you know, that type of vibe. And to have something different like this, like a film festival in honor of Kwanzaa, in the consciousness of Kwanzaa, I think is super important and just different and cool. Yeah, I thought so when I first heard about the film festival during Kwanzaa. And oh man, you are a powerhouse to do events, show not only one film, but multiple films on multiple days, every day throughout Kwanzaa, and there's different things going on.
Yeah, it's all. And I just want to say we do branch out to show some films on the day before Martin Luther King's birthday, and we also take some of the films Black History Month because we took in about 84 films. So sometimes it kind of, we spread it out a little and keep some of the films for some key days in our community. And we try to do events all year long. There's certain days that can then. But one of the things that Kwanzaa we really try to do, and it gets to be difficult sometimes, but we try to feed everybody because Kwanzaa means first harvest. It means harvest. It is a holiday about feeding someone. So feeding someone's spirit and actually feeding someone physically is really important. And if we can't have food, we like to give away fruit when people leave because it's important that people are eating, thinking about healthy eating and, their nutrition. And also it's a gesture of love to give someone some food. So far, so good. We've been able to do it. I don't know, this time we might not be able to do it every day, but we will try to do it on certain days to give people food because it's just a special thing that kind of makes us different. That makes us different. The fact that every genre is celebrated in Kwanzaa, from singing, drumming, music, every genre. Even our thought leaders are part of Kwanzaa. Everything could come together in a film festival. There's no one that's not included in a film festival. So, that was the good thing about it. And our film festival is really about networking. It's not in the sense of networking. It's more like community building networking, which is very, very different. So we're trying to build community and make sure that we can lift each other up.
Yes, absolutely. And you were going through the different days and sharing with us what the days are, what their meanings are. And I don't know if we got a chance to hit all of the days, so I just want to make sure that we're educating people about Kwanzaa. So I'm just going to talk real briefly about what the 7 principles are, the 7 days. So the first day is
Umoja, which is unity. The first day is unity. That's December 26th, Umoja.
Mm-hmm.
The second day is Kujitakalia, which is self-determination, defining oneself. The third day is collective work and responsibility, Ujima.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth day is Ujama, which is cooperative economics, which we're doing a big thing with cooperative economics. Everyone's going to know how to. Reggie Middleton is going to be there, and he's definitely someone that we need to follow because he's broke barriers in the economics of this country, and he's just won a lawsuit, and it's just amazing. He will be coming out on that day. And then the next day is Nia, which is the 5th day, purpose. and the 6th day is Kuumba, and then the 7th day is faith. And Imani, right?
My favorite day, faith. That has been for me one of the important principles in my life.
Yes, yes. It's like everything doesn't make sense if you don't have that, right? The faith. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Like, everything doesn't make sense if you doesn't have that, because you need to have faith. All of the principles, without it will sink. And everything with faith and self-determination, I just imagine if you don't have it, it would be, a lot of things would be lost. That's how I look at it. Faith is the main thing, and I think that's why it's the last principle.
Yes, and then you go into the new year with that faith.
Right, exactly. Yes. Because if you don't have faith and you have unity, but what are you believing in? What is that one thing that's it's like the glue. Like, okay,
right.
We're going to unify and we're going to have faith in one another in order to make these things happen. I'm self-determined, and I have faith to believe that I can be who I want to be without someone defining who I am, because this self-determination is extremely important, because if you cannot define your own self, you're an imposter in your own play of life. And so it's important for you to define who you are, and then collective work and responsibility. Like I said, faith gives us a lot of direction. So I'm really, that day, we really do it up that day. We do Films for the Soul. We also have some doctors coming on to talk about how to sustain your mental health during periods of the ups and downs of life while you are an artist or trying to be an entrepreneur. It can be very difficult sometimes because it's not like a steady income. So we're going to have someone talking about that. Then we're going to end the festival. The entire festival is going to be ended with Black Film Festival organizers coming together to speak about how can we be better for filmmakers? How can we become a pipeline for films to come to, say, for instance, they start with the Kwanzaa Film Festival, and then they follow this film festival and that film festival, and already know that they have 8 film festivals to go to for people to see their films all around the United States or even the world. So we're going to have that last conversation, and also to give people hope and hopefully faith that things will go well in their endeavor to be heard. As a filmmaker wants to be heard, right? You don't want your film to just be in a can. Or if you're not a filmmaker, even if you're just a thought leader, whoever you are, you want to be heard. It's important. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And so can you talk a little bit about how filmmakers get into the Kwanzaa Film Festival? What does that look like?
Okay, so we start submissions usually in March. March 29th is usually our designated date. You go on Film Freeway. Why Film Freeway? So if you send it to my email, it's not as secure. Film Freeway secures your work, documents when they come through. You can put all the people who cast it with you. It's just a good container, and it's better for you to put it in that Film Freeway. When people are sending me films to my email, that is not a good thing. If something happens to your film, I don't want to be responsible for it. I want it to be well documented in a place that is designed to take in film. So you put that in, and then we have like maybe 6 or 7 people. One year we had 20 people rate your film, and we look at films, and we decide, because we had 180 something films, and we selected 80 something, so 1/3. you can't take everything in. You just can't. So we score them, and say you get a high score, so that people know getting a high score doesn't guarantee you. Say I got 10 films with the same subject at a high score, everything can't be the same. So we would have to choose which one best fits the principles of Kwanzaa and let that film come in. Because we want it to be eclectic and not seeing the same thing over and over again. So if you're not selected, it is no way a reflection of your film wasn't good. It might just not have been a fit this particular time because we had a lot of films like that. So you notified in October, and then from there, after people are notified, that's when I start getting the call. Can you still put my film in? Can you still, because people always wait. And that's really inconvenient. But what I do is I tell them I will consider them. But what I do is I just put them in a list. And as we go on throughout the year, if I can accommodate their film, I will. Sometimes it's at a small venue. Sometimes it's someone calling that they have an event and they need a film. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember somebody has a film. So it's always still good to submit the film at any time. But preferably through Film Freeway is where, we would like that to happen. Yeah.
Okay. And talk about the process a little bit, because not anyone could be a filmmaker, right? And I know that some film festivals are a great platform for getting your movie out there, getting it seen, getting it reviewed, getting a sense of how people receive it and everything. How does this particular film festival assist filmmakers, and have there been any success stories that have come out?
There is a success story. Oh wow. Well, I've seen a film that's been in our festival go to Netflix, I think twice. I've also saw individuals get into Harvard Film School, and also is doing some great things out in Hollywood. Yes, I've seen a film of ours on PBS. I want to say, and some of our films have been able to go on Urban, which is URBN Movie Network, with Douglas Holloway. We guarantee our filmmakers at least 2 distribution meetings, and normally it's UKW Media, Urban Media. At one time it was Dame Dash Studio, who's now changed the name of his network. And we try to find help in other ways, whether it's education or workshops or, connecting people with the right people. Now, as far as who could be a filmmaker, I think it's wide open, because it just depends on pulling a team together, learning how to create. And I just think if you have a story, I think you could be a filmmaker. I think it's getting the right people, learning from the right people. You don't necessarily. It's good to go to school and it's good to go to workshops, I'll say that. But there are resources out there. There are people willing to help and support you and train you. So it can be done. It can definitely be done.
Wow. Thank you for that. So, wow, I'm inspired. So anyone could be a filmmaker. I never thought about it that way. I guess, with the proper help and support, you can pretty much do anything. So thank you for that reminder, because sometimes
I want to say something that there are some best kept secrets in New York that I would like to share with people. There's a school called the Ghetto Film School in the Bronx that you can learn filmmaking for relatively nothing. And then there's another best kept secret that people don't understand or don't know. The Bronx Community College has an outstanding film program. When you go into their studio, they have an incredible music studio, they have an incredible TV studio, and the professor, Jeffrey Winkowski, he actually helps his filmmakers that graduate. This is a 2-year program. He helps them get jobs on set. They give you a finance to make your own first film. I'm really blown away. Another, because everyone thinks of NYU, and NYU, of course, is the cream of the crop because of the connections. But if you can't afford NYU, City College has rated really high as a film school, and a lot of people don't know it. So I'm just saying that film school doesn't have to be this expensive venture that it needs to be. Like I said, find yourself on set. The other thing you can do is NYC has a production assistant program in Brooklyn that you can apply to, and you will be trained for 2 years as a assistant producer, and then they will pay you while you're taking this 2-year training. You have to commit to the 2 years, and then after that, you can go out there and find your own job. But it gives you a good start in production. So there's stuff out here that can help you and that can support you.
Wow, that is so amazing. And we're going to make sure to post those resources when we repost our replay on YouTube on Sundays in the afternoons. I will make sure that the link, the YouTube link in the description will have those resources. And of course, how you can get in touch with Sister Ina. Yes, in the Kwanzaa Film Festival, of course. So we're going to take a short break. We're listening to Kindred, the Family Soul. Today, a very unique and amazing group, a husband and wife, a family-oriented neo-soul group, which I thought was very fitting for this show, as Kwanzaa is a very family-oriented event as well, very family-oriented celebration. So we'll get more into Kwanzaa. We'll get into more about the Kwanzaa Film Festival with Ina Norris when we come back. Stay tuned.
I love the way you walk, I love your smile. I know you earn that joy, boy, sit for a while. I love how you turn a phrase, the kink in your hair. I love that skin, and baby, I need you here to fight together, to heal together, protect each other. Love one another, respect each other, and see each other, 'cause we're here still, through pure will. Where does it
Welcome back, family. Again, that was Kindred, the family soul, and we are talking about Kwanzaa. We're here early in December, but we are getting to that special time of Kwanzaa every year. I definitely look forward to it. Of course, you're listening to WHCR 90.3 FM. I'm your host, Pojanee PJ Fleury, and this is PJ's show. So, Sister Ina, I want to talk a little bit about how you got involved with Kwanzaa, or, thinking about putting a film festival, your work in the film industry together with Kwanzaa. How did that all happen?
So my family has been practicing Kwanzaa, I guess at least 30-something years. My father, he didn't want to celebrate Christmas anymore. So I was like, okay, this is great. We're going to make gifts for each other. We're going to cook for each other. We're going to have poetry and all of these things that you didn't do for Christmas. For Christmas, the gathering was more like you get together, everybody exchange gifts, people drink, and they put on some music, and they dance, and, people go home mad or whatever. This is what I would see. But anyway, my father was like, let's do something a little more meaningful. He didn't stop anyone from celebrating Christmas, but he had decided he wasn't. And then we kind of all fell into it eventually. We all started just celebrating Kwanzaa. The family would have a big event every year. Everybody would look forward to it. So one year, my mom was like, I'm really tired. She's older now. I'll say about 2017. She said, I'm really tired. I don't think I could do it this year. And I said, oh, my God, she's not going to do it this year? Oh, my goodness. I was like, I don't know why I connected them together. I was like, I always wanted to do a film festival, and I love Kwanzaa. How about if we had a film festival that is based on the 7 principles, and the films that are submitted into the film festival are based on the 7 principles? So it was bringing two things that I cared about personally, and I know a bunch of people who cared about personally, together. Yeah, I feel like people care about Kwanzaa, that love Kwanzaa. I remember being told by an individual that nobody cares about Kwanzaa and nobody cares about film festivals. And, sometimes when people tell you that, you just got to show them better than argue, right? So just putting it together, the Kwanzaa Film Festival was, demonstrative of the fact that the people do still care about Kwanzaa, and people do still care about film festivals and black filmmakers. So, that is how that happened.
Wow, that's amazing. And so now, have you kept up that tradition also still personally? I know you at the film festival working hard, but do you find time?
Yeah,
with your family?
what's so interesting is my mom never did stop like she said she was. So we celebrate, like the family gets together on either the eve or the first day of the year. So this year it's going to be the first day of the year. And somehow or another, I'm always designated as the person to do the invitations and to decide what we're going to do on that day. And of course, it's usually around the principal. Before we would have it on different days, but lately we've been having it on Faith or Kuumba. So yes, I still practice Kwanzaa. It is, you're right. I am very, very busy. And matter of fact, my mother's like, oh my God, you're so busy. Sometimes you're not as present to Kwanzaa, but I'm doing it with a whole group of people now, lighting the candles with a whole group of people, but I do still celebrate with my family.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
And so I know that January 1st is not the end of your activities and what you do under this banner, under this platform. So when it comes to Martin Luther King Junior's birthday celebration, second Monday in January. How does the film festival extend all the way till then?
So we pick out generally on Martin Luther King's birthday. One of the things that we do try to do is to be multicultural. So basically, we will have films from Brazil. We just try to do a melting pot of films from the African diaspora. And if any time that we were showing films outside of the African diaspora, it is that day because Martin Luther King did stand for, for us to be as one. How did he put it? Integration. And so we will show other people out of our ethnicity on that day if it makes sense with the Kwanzaa principles. And then we're going to be doing it this year. We have some fantastic films, coming about that era. We have, right now it's not in front of me for some reason to bring that, but we have a leader right here in Brooklyn that someone did a documentary that was very aware of what was going on with the civil rights era. We're going to be showing that documentary with some other works. And then February 3rd is Black History Month. And this Black History Month, we're really focusing on because our people have been known to create art, to create music, to create things that stimulate the brain. And we're going to be looking at how the brain works when we have stimulated with music and art and what have you. And we're going to also be showing films for the soul that deal with, healing the trauma, that we've been subjected to. So that's going to be like a special day. We're probably going to do a book signing. We're going to have some vendors, and we're going to have some food. That's February 3rd. That's going to be at the Forum at Columbia University. Last year, we celebrated Billie Holiday as one of our iconic singers of blues and rhythm, and she made stride with the song Strange Fruit. But actually, that song was a demonstration of how policy can be changed by a song. Just like by a film, people have been freed. Songs have freed people. Art has freed people. And so we celebrate those people who have done it. I think we're talking about doing something for Aretha Franklin's birthday this year, because also we like to honor our ancestors that have gone on before us. That's a huge part of Kwanzaa. We did something for Juneteenth. We will be doing something for Juneteenth again this year. And there's, we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep creating and giving people opportunities to show their work, whether it's art, film, dance, music, acting. We embrace it all.
How can people get involved, reach you, follow the film festival and all that great stuff?
Okay, so my name is NORRIS, the Kwanzaa Film Festival Corp. And our number is 917-995-2936. Our email address is KwanzaaFilmFestival@gmail.com or information at thekwanzaafilmfestival.com. You can look up our website, thekwanzaafilmfestival.com. It's being built out, so more and more stuff will be coming on to that website each and every day. And if you want to get involved, if you want to volunteer, if you want to just, be aware of everything we're doing, just, go in the website and put your email in there, and we will contact you. You'll be a part of our email thread.
Okay, wonderful. And please repeat the number one more time.
917-995-2936.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. It's been so great working with you as well, working on the festival.
Thank you. Take care.
This is WHCR 90.3 FM. Thanks for listening to PJ Show. I'm your host, Pojanee PJ Fleury, and we're going to end off today's episode with a little bit more of Kindred the Family Soul.
Tired of broken street glass, not getting no rest unless the baby's sleep. But even then seems like we're trying to creep. Tired of paying taxes, sending emails and faxes. Tired of crooked cops, tired of black folk complaining that crime don't stop. I wanna go to a place where lovers go, do the things that lovers do. No stress, a sweet caress from me to you. I wanna do